back in the day, in the 90s, Dan and I came up with the concept of a show. And it was, Kato, we got luggage. You get dropped off in the middle of nowhere, and I have to find a place to live. And it was called House Guest. Did it. Just he and I shot this little segment. Went to Fox. Within 10 seconds, they bought it. I said, love it. And then we did the pilot. They gave us the money for the pilot. And then the president of the network at the time, FX, Kevin Riley, loved it. And then he got the job at NBC and they shelved it. So it's always something that wasn't right. And I look at it, at the time, I'm bawling, going, why does this always happen? And it's hindsight now. It's like, okay, it wasn't because it wasn't my turn. It's hard to say that because you go through a depression. I mean, you really go through a depression. And it was like, okay, maybe there's something better. So I know there's no one works harder. I'm always doing something. And I really, really try to nail it. And I know I'm still judged to this day as Kato from the trial. And there's nothing I can do. The younger kids don't know, but then their parents know it. But the more I do, the kids, like I did the Celebrity Big Brother. When I did my Wizard World, the kids knew me from Celebrity Big Brother.
Really?
Yeah. They knew that, and they set me up. Then it got so big at that time when I did the shows, they gave me my own booth for doing the main stage acting. I mean, I host the show, and then after that, I go right to my pictures.
Well, that is the thing about this town. Well, first of all, that's a good thing to treat everyone the same because everyone is just one step away from being Tom Cruise, right? Or George Clooney.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like
more outlets now too with
yeah.
social media. Influencers, I've never even heard of that. Influencers that make so much money.
So much.
My friend...
They have more followers than probably us combined. I don't know how many followers you have. I'm sure it's a lot, but...
This gentleman I know who's a very dear friend of mine, I mentioned it early in the show, is... I can't tell you what he makes, but he tells me what he makes from his social media. I vomit. I go, you are kidding me. Yeah. In 1 week, in that, and I'm going, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah. It's a whole job.
But that's a friend, and he'll help me out. It's that close. But it's getting that, nailing it. And social media, I do these little jokes, and I've booked about 10 jobs just off my little jokes I do on social media.
Well, that's the other thing, too. You say, like, the kids are starting to recognize you from Celebrity Big Brother. Like, yeah, it is OJ, but, like, all you need is one big thing, right? And then everyone forgets what your other thing was.
Yeah.
I believe that, right?
And I think someone, maybe someone yourself, or that, they hear this, and it's given a chance. I really want to have that. I've always get that when I'm so close. It's like, have the talent, do it, and then forget about that. That's not me. That's 28 years ago. It's not me. I mean, it's me, but there was so much more to me before that happened. Right. I was reading stuff. So,
Did you love? I mean, I'm a huge Big Brother fan, as I told you before we started this. I mean, there's a lot of great reality shows, but that game is so brilliant. Like, did you love playing that? You were there with Candy Burris, Tina Lohan.
Yeah, and I became dear friends with Tom Green, and it was it's funny because you have no social media while you're in the house, and when you come out, you see, oh my God, it was Tomato, Tom and Kato, Tomato, and they had this team Tomato, and I was like cracking up. But that generated so much positive press for me. And no one in the house really knew, I thought it was kind of funny in the house, and I had this great relationship with pretty much everybody in the house, sort of, but there is some stuff that doesn't make it on camera. There's some evil that goes on. And I was not like an evil, I was not mean-spirited at all. And I was, I try to once again bring light and levity to everything that was going on. And it happened because the president of CBS at the time was Kelly Call. He followed me on the Twitter. And on Twitter, I had jokes about whatever else. And it turns out that he was from Wisconsin, like me, went to Wisconsin. He was a Badger, Wisconsin Badgers, and met in his office. And that was kind of a done deal, like, let's get this thing going. And we are, friends even today.
Are there any other reality shows? You've done so many that you're like dying to do.
One of the toughest ones I did. Well, Celebrity Big Brother is really tough because you got the bathrooms clogged up a lot, and I had to do my morning poop. And
well, I mean, that's an understandable thing.
It's really, really kind of difficult. It's you're with these strange people, and we had flooding of the toilets and the showers a lot, and I was like, oh my God, this is stuff I don't know if they're catching this on film, but incredible. And no, there's no sleep. They have light like this, the light that we have on, they have lights on the entire time, and they don't really want you to sleep. They give you these patches on your eyes, these goggles, whatever. So that was tough. And I did a show that was really tough is when we did the celebrity boot camp. We were the first ones to be on Camp Pendleton. And the drill sergeants really, they were tough on us. They wanted to show, the celebrity or whatever.
What the world is all about.
We're going to make it tough on you.
Well, look, there's Dancing with the Stars.
Maybe, who knows Dancing with the Stars? I'm not a good dancer, but yeah.
What about if I know you've been with the same, you're married now. Like, what if your wife came home and just said, like, hey, Beverly Hills Housewives is calling, or the OC Housewives that's not that far away.
Yeah, well, she's from China, and she goes. And by the way, she does not own a hot air balloon. Just putting it out there for you.
Let's just put that out there.
But she is very, very funny. She'll probably get her own show. She's extremely funny and everything opposite of you think of a quiet Chinese. She's loud talker and beautiful.
Well, you're out. Would you guys ever do if someone came to you guys about like an actual show?
If she would do it, she's kind of like, she's funny, but she is not into being publicity. She is very, very much into being funny, but not. She doesn't want that because her thing is that she's very smart and she does everything like accounting, or she does everything with inventing things.
She's organized.
She's very, very, very smart woman.
Did she have like preconceived notions about you?
Well, real quick story in her is that she was in China. She was a party planner at a very exclusive hotel. The night was $10,000 a night to stay at this called the Eclat. There's one in Paris. There's one in Beijing. She was the party planner. Very prestigious job where only royalty would stay there. She came out when I did Wizard World. We were going to go to China for the Comic-Cons. And a gentleman there was one of the financiers, said, oh, I have a friend. She's coming to America. I gave her your WeChat, the Chinese app. We could communicate. So what was the story going? I forgot what the point of this was.
Did she basically know who you were is what I'm saying.
Thank you.
I said it in a more professional way.
We set up a time to meet, and she was living far away, and I got her, had her meet me somewhere. I got a car. So she met with me and said, oh, Kato, in China, we have this one show that's very popular that everybody's watching now is the Ryan Murphy show, American Crime Story. There's a guy named Kato. I said, no, that's me doing the part. And she looked, she goes, no, the guy who's this Kato from this OJ trial. I go, no, that's me. And she just started laughing hysterically. She goes on her phone. She goes, and that was it. She was just cracking up going, oh my God, that story about you. And it talks a little broken. Her English is good, but she's like, and then she was blown away. And I was cracking up going, yeah, that's
I think that's a really funny story.
I go, don't read any more about that stuff. Let's have fun now.
That's a funny story. Like she
had no idea it was the same person.
Yeah. And she didn't believe you when you told her.
Yeah,
she was like, no,
she
there's
Googled all my
stuff.
stuff. She was Googling. And even while we're chatting, now we didn't just meet, we chatted for like a few days.
Wow.
But I never brought it up. And she just.
And then did she Google you? Did she do all that?
Yeah, she did it at the table.
Wow.
And she looked up the show and the guy playing it and all that.
Wow. Do you get starstruck? Because, you've been in the business forever. You treat everyone the same. You've hung out with Charlie Sheen, as you're saying, with Hef. Like, do